Sometimes the permission you give isn't the trap, it's the bait. Tonight's story: a wife asks her husband for a hall pass to sleep with her boss one night, no consequences. He says yes. But what she doesn't know is that yes comes with cameras, a scorned spouse on speed dial, and a reckoning she'll never see coming. Now, before we get started, I want to let you folks know about something. I've set up a website where I'm posting stories every day, stories with even more intense revenge plots than what you'll find here. I'll keep uploading to YouTube just like always, but if you're interested in reading some of the harder-hitting stories, you can find the link right below this video in the description, and I've also posted it in the community section. Feel free to take a look when you have a moment. All right, let's get to today's story. Amanda made pot roast the night she asked me to let her sleep with her boss. I want that detail on the record because I've thought about it a lot since. Pot roast. My favorite, or it used to be back when she still tracked things like that. She'd lit a candle too, which we hadn't done at a Tuesday dinner in probably 4 years. I should have known something was coming the second I saw the flame. "I want to talk to you about something," she said quietly, cutting her meat into pieces she had no intention of eating. "And I need you to actually hear me out before you react." That's usually the part in a marriage where you brace yourself for bad news about money, or her mother, or maybe a job change. I did not brace myself for what came next, because no sane person prepares for that particular sentence. "I think I need a hall pass," she said, her voice carefully measured. "One night, no strings, no repeat, just a reset. Something for me before I turn 40 and never get the chance again." I kept chewing. I want to say I had some dignified pause where I set my fork down and looked at her with quiet devastation. I didn't. I just kept chewing because my body apparently decided that continuing to eat pot roast was easier than processing what my wife had just said to me across our own kitchen table. "A reset," I repeated flatly. "Don't make it weird, Trevor. Couples do this. It's healthy. It's not about you, it's about me needing," she said, waving her fork around like she was conducting an orchestra, "to feel wanted again by someone new." I asked who. She hesitated exactly long enough for me to know she'd rehearsed not hesitating. "Marcus," she said, like it was obvious, like I should have already known. "From work." Marcus was her boss. I'd met him twice, at company holiday parties, a big handsome guy with a watch worth more than my truck and a laugh that filled up a room whether the joke deserved it or not. I remembered shaking his hand and thinking he held on a beat too long, like he was establishing something. At the time, I chalked it up to corporate confidence. Now I understood it differently. I told her I needed some time. 24 hours, I said, let me sit with it. She smiled like she'd won something, reached over and squeezed my hand, and told me she loved how mature I was being about this, how most guys would have made a scene. I said something forgettable back. I honestly don't remember what, and she went upstairs to shower humming. My wife had just asked me to bless her affair with her boss, and she went upstairs humming show tunes like she'd just gotten a raise. I sat at that table another minute, staring at the candle she'd lit for the occasion, and I felt something in me go very quiet and very still. Not sad exactly. Sad would come later in smaller doses at strange hours. What I felt right then was closer to clarity. The kind you get when a doctor finally puts a name to symptoms you've had for months. Because here's the thing nobody tells you about being betrayed. You usually know before you know. I'd felt it for weeks. The phone she started charging on her nightstand instead of the counter. The new lacy things in her drawer that weren't for me. The late nights that got a little later, a little more often. I'd told myself I was being paranoid, the way you do when the alternative is a version of your life falling apart. The shower kicked on upstairs. Her phone was sitting on the arm of the couch, face down, unlocked, the way it always was when she trusted the house not to look.